Greymaniacs gather! Hi folks, on this video I'm going to be going through some of my favourite covers of all time. It's the Dial H for Hero run from House of Mystery. Before this run of Dial H for Hero came along, House of Mystery was mainly a sci-fi title. Then after this run ended, it became a horror title or mystery title. The Dial H run in House of Mystery ran from January 1966 to March 1968, taking in issue numbers 156 all the way to 173. There's some great covers in there, which I'm going to show you now and tell you what it is I like about them. Hopefully you'll enjoy them too. So here we go, we're starting off with the first issue. This is number 156, cover arts by Jim Mooney. This was January 1966, this one, so I wasn't even around when this first came out. But just look at that, if I had been around I definitely would have picked this up off the shelves. That is a fabulous cover. From the trade dress with the House of Mystery and the Dial H for Hero dial, the blurb, no, the most original character in comic history. Then we've got Robbie Reed, the boy who could change into 1,000 superheroes, like Cometeer, like Giant Boy, like the Mole. All he has to do is, and there's the little H dial there, and then you can see him transforming into these 3 different and interesting looking heroes, like the Mole with his drill bit fingertips and his drill bit head. That's amazing. And also look, back up, the Martian Manhunter is also in this one as well. It's like, what? You can't ask for more than that now, can you? The Martian Manhunter, sign me up. But yeah, that's cool. Jim Mooney actually does most of the covers here. Right, and we move on now to House of Mystery 157 from March 1966. It was every other month at this time rather than every month. And again, cover art by Jim Mooney. And what a great cover it is as well. As I said, it's a bifurcated or trifurcated, whatever. It's all split up into, you know, oh, you got go-go checks as well. That's the first thing you should point out. Go-go checks. How can you not look at those and go, wow, sign me up? You got a great trade dress as well. House of Mystery, Dial H for Hero. No, the most original character in comic history. And here we have the first cover of Sockamagee, or Sockamagee is what I normally say. It's the catchphrase of Robbie Reed, our hero. I don't think it's used by any other characters in the future. Like they didn't try and sell it across the whole DC line, but Sockamagee is definitely a good one. I should try and bring Sockamagees more into my own life actually. But anyway, Robbie Reed does it again when he becomes 3 brand new superheroes to battle the Marauders of Thunderbolt Island. And here he is, there's his different shapes. Each time I use this dial, I become a different superhero, like Supercharge, the Human Bullet, Radar Sonar Man. And look at the lovely antennae on Radar Sonar Man. No eyes, but he's got some cool antennae. I'm assuming they do everything that he needs of them, so he doesn't actually need eyes. Who needs eyes when you've got antennae? That's what I say. Alright, we move on now to issue number 158 from April of 1966. Again, you've got go-go checks, you've got that great blurb, Robbie Reed, the boy who could change into 1,000 superheroes. How that would not ignite the imagination of a child reading that, thinking of all the different heroes they could be. The possibilities are endless, you know, the mind boggles. 1,000 superheroes? I must find out more. And of course, you've got the great, no, the most original character in comic history. And perhaps they're right, perhaps that is the most original. He can become 1,000 different characters after all. And in this one, it's the battle of the century when Robbie Reed dials into another superhero, Quakemaster, and battles a cunning criminal who has managed to dial V for villain. So it's like, oh gosh, this old fellow has got a V dial. Uh-oh, that's gonna be trouble for our hero Robbie Reed. Sockamagee. I didn't actually start reading Dial H for Hero until the Adventure series run, and then it was Vicky Grant and Chris King who were the dial wielders in the town of Fairfax. They were teenagers, they're about the same age that I was when I was reading those comic books, and I really enjoyed them. And I didn't actually start collecting this run until Daz the Key Chaser showed off a video where he said that Plastic Man first appeared in the Silver Age in one of the House of Mystery Dial H for Hero comic books. So that's what got me, and as soon as I read that one I had to get the rest because the covers are just absolutely fantastic, and I fell in love with the covers straight away. Alright, move on to 159 from June 1966. This is just after my brother was born. There's a couple, it's kind of weird how the issues ran, because we started off back in Jan, then it skipped to March, then it went just 1 month to April, and then it skipped a couple of months again to June. So it's like it's 1 month, then it's 2 months, then it's 1 month again. It's a bit strange. Oh yeah, and this cover art is by Jim Mooney again. Go-go checks and a trifurcated cover. Look, he's sitting there in a little semicircle with his dial in his hands, dyeing up all these great characters. I won't go through the blurbers I've already read, but we've got 3 startling new superheroes, and each razzle-dazzle role Robbie dials into is desperately needed to tackle the fantastic Clay Creep Clan. Such alliteration. Who doesn't love a bit of alliteration on the cover? And if you don't love alliteration, then you're no friend of mine. And here we can see him transforming into Hypno Man with the classic Hypno disc on his chest. Who are these weird long-necked freaky people about? Oh, they're the Clay Creep Clan, of course. They're made out of clay. They're like Clayface before Clayface came along, I'm guessing. They've got a human starfish. He becomes the human starfish. Surely it should be the human octopus with these tentacle-like arms, but maybe if he cuts as an arm cut off, it will grow back. I don't remember. I think starfish can do that. And then finally, the mighty Moppet. He's a child. He's a kid. He's a freaking adolescent. Look here. He's got his little milk bottle and he's on his waistband. So if he gets thirsty, maybe that's magic milk that gives him superpowers. I can't really remember now. It's been a while since I read these, but I'm sure I'll get around to reading them again in the future, just because I love the quirky stories and the crazy Silver Age madness of it all. And who can not love that cover? Here we go, number 160 from July of 1966. A magnificent cover by Jim Mooney once again. Go-Go checks, the mighty trade dress we've seen a few times, the little Robbie Reed, boy who could change into 1,000 superheroes blurb. But now we get an excellent cover, he's in a circle in the middle, and you've got 4 panels around him, including the first appearance in the Silver Age of Plastic Man. Sockamagee dying for blazing action against the dazzling villain, the Wizard of Light. A new old hero, Plastic Man, an old new hero, Giant Boy, a new hero, King Candy. Wait till you get a taste of my licorice lariat. Just amazing stuff. First off, Plastic Man, so he was a hero from the Golden Age, of course, and so he's a new old hero. Then we've got an old new hero, because Giant Boy was one of the personas that he dialed up in the previous comic book, so that's why it's described as an old new hero. And then we've got a new hero, because this guy King Candy had never appeared before and probably never since, but just look at that costume. How can you not love that costume? He's red and white striped like a candy cane. He's got little candy buttons. He's got licorice lariat, for cripe's sake, and he's got a crown with lollipops. We call them lollipops here. I'm not sure what you call them in America, but yeah, just amazing stuff. I don't know who that villain is fighting with. He's got a weird looking hat on, but and is he carrying a tambourine, or is he stolen a crown? I'm not too sure, but that's just a great cover. I love the way he's there in the circle in the middle, his happy little smiling, his little glasses, dialing up on a H dial and becoming all these awesome characters. Okay, issue 161 now. This is from September 1966. So it's jumped a month again. It's gone July straight to September. This is again cover art by Jim Mooney, and it's a little bit different. It's not bifurcated like it has been on previous covers, but it is an awesome cover anyway. We've still got the old blurb, Robbie Reed, the boy who could change into 1,000 superheroes, and this month he's changed into this guy here, Hornet Man. Let me just read you the blurb. As Lord of the Gardens, I command a plant gorilla to destroy you, Hornet Man. So this is a gorilla, a plant gorilla. Why not just like a plant monster? So why it specifically be a gorilla of all things, other than the fact that we know how much DC do love a gorilla. So they didn't have a normal gorilla, they had to have a plant gorilla. And look at this mummy fella with this snake-looking head. The most fantastic villain Robbie Reed has ever battled in any of his superhero forms. Meet the Mummy with 6 heads. And if I recall properly, he changes his head and he has different powers when he does it, I believe. So he's got like a different helmet that he puts on that looks like an animal's head. A nice purple background, a bit plain, just purple, but yeah, no, it's cool. And Hornet Man, nice yellow costume, looking good. Antennae again, you can't beat an antennae, but he's actually got eyes as well, not just the antennae like radar sonar man that we saw earlier on. But yeah, cool one. It's just, it hasn't got all split covers, but it's still got lots of nice stuff going on there. Great costumes, lovely purple, and some awesome wordage, and a plant gorilla. You can't go wrong with a plant gorilla. Now from October 1966 we have issue number 162. Yep, Jim Mooney once again. Go-Go checks. all the blurbs are still here. The trade dress is still awesome and stands out. It must have stood out so massively on the shelves back in the day. Go checks makes you stand out to start off with. Then you've got a magnificent trade dress taking up like a quarter of the cover. We've got a nice little yellow banner as well. Panic in Robbie's hometown. Can Robbie dial in a superhero to stop the nightmare threat of the monster maker of Littleville? That's right, I forgot he lived in Littleville. Even as Future Man, I can't crack out of this ice trap the Porcupine Man's icicle quills are creating. So here he is as Future Man with the obligatory big head. People in the future are always going to have... I've got a big head already, so maybe I'm already futuristic. Maybe I'm ahead of my time and I'm higher up the evolutionary scale than some people. But I've got a bit of a big conk as well. The Porcupine Man is firing out these icicle quills. He's an interesting looking character. Big hands, big spiky haircut. Background's a bit quiet, just green, but you've got this big machinery here, purple machinery, by the way. I like the colours on this. You've got a nice bold blue, bold green and yellow in the tray, just purple, a splash of red, green background, purple, orange ground, and orange floor in there. It's just so bright and interesting. One thing that does strike me as well is the Future Man's chest emblem. I can't see the F. Every time I look at it, I see the white bit and I think it looks like a hand, like a sort of curled over hand. I have to concentrate to see the actual F there, but it's not really a critique, it's just something I've noticed. But yeah, once again, great art there by Jim Mooney. Right now, on to 163, and this has got a different cover artist for the first time in the run. This is from December 1966, and cover pencils are by Carmine Infantino. Art specialists may recognise his style, and the inks are by Joe Giella. It's hard to say that name, Giella. Never too sure if I'm saying it right. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, not bad. We've got everything here that you need. You know, you've got the staples of the go-go checks, the awesome trade dress, a nice yellow banner, and look at that in big letters, Sockamagee, the wildest villain yet, Baron Bug and his insect army. You can see Robbie Reed is stuck to some giant flypaper. For some reason, Baron Bug happens to have giant flypaper. Why would he have that? Because his insects are on his side. So why does he need flypaper? Yeah, it should be called human paper because he's caught a human with it. And here he's saying, insect firing squad, ready, aim. And here we see these three like giant mosquitoes about to plunge their proboscises into this poor character's body. And in this one he actually becomes two heroes, Castor and Pollux, the names of the two Gemini stars, I think from Greek mythology originally. And yeah, they were sent up to heaven to become stars, I believe, by Zeus. I'm guessing Pollux must come to save him because he's Castor, because he's got a C on his chest. It says, Robbie Reed, let's see you get out of this sticky mess without your H-dial. Uh-oh, he hasn't got his H-dial. What? It's now January 1967. Jim Mooney returns with number 164. And look at this awesome cover. We're back to trifurcated covers. We've got the awesome trade dress at the top with all the good stuff. And then in the banner it says, 3 dazzling new superheroes. But can even Robbie Reed's amazing powers prevent him from falling under the glaring deadly spell of Dr. Cyclops, the villain with the doomsday stare? You got Zip-Tide, Supernova, and Robbie Robot. And to be honest, they look like they're holding their own. Zip-Tide's throwing a big bucket of water at him and knocking off his glasses. Supernova's punching him and smashing his glasses. If he hasn't got glass in his eye, I'll be very surprised. And then finally, only Robbie the Robot looks like he's having trouble. He's like he's been frozen in some kind of ice rays. He's trying to approach the villain. But yeah, another cool character. Dr. Cyclops. Does this predate X-Men Cyclops? I don't think it does. When did it? No, they gave him a bit earlier than this one, mate. At least unlike Marvel Cyclops, this guy actually does have one eye. Okay, March 1967 brings us another Jim Mooney great. This is number 165 of House of Mystery. Unfortunately, we've got no more split covers in the rest of the run, unless you call the last cover a split cover, which is it's not really, but you'll see when it comes to it. But anyway, let's have a quick look at this one. We have great trade dress as always. Beautiful yellow banner with some awesome Silver Age madness going on. It's a wacky world when Dr. Rigoro Mortis and Superhood menace it, and Robbie spins his dial to become the freak superheroes. Who's this? What's this? How's this? You can see the guy there has got a gun in his chest, and these weirdo creatures here are Robbie Reed, what he dials up with the H dial this time around, and they certainly not going to have their work cut out fighting Dr. Rigor Mortis and Superhood. So Superhood is a robot created by Dr. Rigor Mortis. He sounds like a Frankenstein kind of character, but it's a robot. He's not made out of human body parts. But yeah, good trade dress, good Jim Mooney, a bit weird and wacky and crazy. Look at the face on these three robot-y fellas, whatever the heck they are. Watts is just weird, it's just completely weird shape. But yeah, strange one, but that's what you expect from the Silver Age. Not only do you come to expect weirdness, but you come to love it as well. Okay, 166 now from April 1966, and this is Jim Mooney again. Great trade dress as always, and the banner says, "What a spot for a superhero! Doomed before he can even tackle the king of the curses. The Yankee Doodle Kid is caught in a trap, and his skyrocket blasts aren't stopping the Cougar Man." I'm guessing it's just a passerby. I don't think he's a villain. I'm not too sure though. But here's Cougar Man. Yes. Good, interesting, yeah, not as great as some of the other ones though. I do love the Yankee Doodle's costume though. The Yankee Doodle Kid is a typical patriotic hero, dialed up to 20 I think. He fires that rocket red glare, skyrockets bursting in air as the old national anthem sort of mentions, and so he's stuck in a man trap that looks like a cougar trap, but it's called the Yankee Doodle Kid instead. Look at the eagle on his head. That's just magnificent. Cougar Man, I suppose it's better than Cougar Woman. Here's Jim Mooney again with the June issue, which is number 167. Trade just as usual. Yeah, there's no banner though. There's no colourful banner with a Sockamagee in there. Instead we have Meet the Villain Who Changes Colours, the Fantastic Rainbow Raiders. My Green Ray will slow you down to a cruel muscle man. So Robbie Reed's become Muscle Man. Somehow he seems to be able to punch, I don't know, snowballs out of his fists. I'm not too sure. It definitely looks like a snowball, or maybe it's a punch, I don't know, ricochet blast or something. I can't quite remember. But here we have the Jolly Green Giant. Rainbow Man, one of the Rainbow Raiders. Is there more than one Rainbow Raider? I think there must have been. Yeah, so it's been a while since I read them, so I can't really recall. Yeah, it's a good cover. It's fine, but alongside other Dial H covers from this run, it's a bit pedestrian. Amongst any modern cover, it beats them into a cocked hat. But yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as some of the other ones in the run. But yeah, Muscle Man, it's an okay character. He's wearing a loincloth and sandals, why not? And a Jolly Green Giant with a rainbow across his chest. Well, it is Pride Month. Now for 168 we have Jim Mooney once again, and this is the July 1967 issue, and we have a return of the banner. No Sockamagee in there, but we have Stalemate, trapped by each other. Who will break out first? Superhero Hoopster or supervillain Moon Man? And there's a lot of different fonts in there, a lot of different writing in. I'm guessing that was all hand drawn. I don't know who did the lettering, but yeah, it's interesting. It stands out, all the different colours, and Moon Man in a different font, Stalemate in a different font. You've got the typical trade dress you always see. You've got a planetarium in the distance there. There's the Moon Man with his moon crater head. He's firing out some strange beams out of his eyes. What, a moon dust beams or something? And the Hoopster is like tying him up with hoops, with glowing hoops. Yeah, so who will break first? The Stalemate, what will happen? I'm guessing it's going to be our hero Hoopster, otherwise there won't be a next issue. And there is a next issue, so Hoopster must win. And yeah, good stuff. I like his purple costume, Moon Man, and his big moon head. You can't beat a big moon head. September 1967, we have House of Mystery number 169, and again it's Jim Mooney's cover art. I think it's the first appearance of a female on the cover, and this female is one of Robbie's little friends who gets hold of the H dial, and as you can see, extra, dial H for heroin, and a dazzling girl champion joins forces with a new superhero to battle the terrible Toy Master. Now to take care of Gem Girl with my spiked Jack-in-the-Box. So here we have the terrible Toy Master with his spiky Jack-in-the-Box, and Robbie's little friend Susie, she sees him turn into Astro, this guy here on the ground. Another time in the same issue he becomes also Velocity Kid. She sees him become Astro and she turns into Gem Girl, but luckily in the Silver Age you can always trust a bit of amnesia to come along, and somehow she gets amnesia and doesn't remember his secrets. But yeah, this Gem Girl with lots of colourful gems all over her costume, including some spurs by the looks of it. Yeah, but as I said, thankfully Susie knocks herself on the head, and in the Silver Age there's no such thing as long-term concussion problems. And so we move on to issue 170 now. This is October 1967, and this is the last Jim Mooney cover in the run. Not a bad cover, this one. A bit grey at the top there, not quite so bright and stand out, but there's a nice cover in the bottom portion, nice 3/4 cover. Sockamagee! Now Robbie's turned himself into a human buzzsaw, but this time it looks like he's dialed a wrong number, and as you can see, he's trying to stop a missile from hitting this ship down below, and all he's got is buzzsaw blades on his wrists and on top of his head by the looks of it, which doesn't look like he's going to do an awful lot against the missile other than blow up and probably take him with it. And I think them buzzsaws on his wrists would be more of a risk to his own health than to anybody else. He'd be cutting his own legs off. Don't scratch your ear or anything like that. They just strike me as rather impractical. Very impractical, should I say. Maybe he fires out buzzsaw blades as well, or maybe he intricately cuts open the side of the missile and disturbs the guidance system or something. Buzzsaw, not great. But that happened a lot in the adventure run in the 80s. They often would say, oh, I've misdialed and I've got this crazy character, but then somehow they still manage to use the crazy powers of the crazy character to overcome the menace. That's what normally happened anyway. Here's issue 171 now from December 1967. You might recognise the cover artist. It's Nick Cardy. And we've got the Micro Monsters, Menace of the Micro Monsters. The old trade dress is gone. There's no go-go checks. They disappeared a little while ago, but I didn't mention it. But yeah, he's fighting Micro Monsters. It's a good cover. Nick Cardy's a great Silver Age artist. Yeah, I kind of like the Jim Mooney's more, I suppose. And it's a bit of a boring, in comparison, it's a little bit of a boring one. There's not much. There's no speech balloons. There's only one little blurb. There's no awesome banner or anything like that. In this issue, Robbie becomes 3 different characters: Go-Go, King Viking, and Whirligig. And I couldn't tell you what this character's called. Looking at him, he doesn't look like a Viking. He doesn't look like a Whirligig either. Maybe he's a Go-Go. Who knows? There's no checks. Yeah, but it's cool. It's pretty. It's you know, the monsters look cool, but yeah, it's a functional cover. It does the job, but it's not stupendous like some of the other ones in the run are. And so we move on to February 1968. We have issue 172, the penultimate issue. This cover art is by Frank Springer. And I do like this image. This is a lot different to some of the earlier stuff. It's got a great aerial view, which I really like. You've got the Dial H logo, of course. There's not too many blurbs. You've just got, that's our Robbie, trapped by one of the H-dial monsters. So as well as having villains, you can also dial up monsters, apparently. So you've got and I just think this is great. This is Robbie as a Native American chief of some kind on a flying horse. There's a great aerial view, and you've got this giant squid monster attacking him on his flying horse, and I just like, it's really cool. I like this one. It's different for sure. It's just like such a weird idea for a cover. Giant squid in the sky attacking a guy on a flying horse. Yeah, it's great stuff. And I do like the aerial view as well. It's got a lot more background than a lot of the other covers have. The aerial view here of the city down below, the little trees, the little houses, there's a water tower there as well, a couple of water towers. And yeah, it just looks really cool. There's a train passing by, if I'm not mistaken, down below. Yeah, it's a really cool aerial view, and an interesting character and an interesting monster. Kind of Lovecraftian if you like your tentacles. And now, sadly, we come to the last issue, number 173 from March 1968. And this is a cover by Jack Sparling. I did mention before there'd be another split cover. This is kind of a split cover, because here we have Robbie Reed split in half between good and evil. Apparently there's some weird vibrations that are going on that turn all of his hero personas evil. Will he dial G for good? E for evil. Yeah, not a bad little blurb. It's kind of gone out with it didn't go out with a bang, let's put it that way. A little bit of a boring cover, this one, but it's interesting in its own right. You can see him being split here. You've got the halo for the good side, you've got the horn for the bad side. It looks like he's aged about 20 years. This looks no longer like a little kid. This, I don't know, something about it makes him look like he's an adult, like a grown-up. But yeah, it's cool. And after this, they went to the mystery period of the House of Mystery books. You've got all your scary stories and ghost stories and things that go bump in the night. So the innocent hero of the Dial H has disappeared. It was a good little run while it lasted. Some great stories in there, some silliness, of course, some Silver Age silliness. But that's if you like your Silver Age comic books from DC, then you know to appreciate the Silver Age madness. And some great covers as well, as I've said. This last one is not the greatest. It's all right in its own right, but I prefer the split cover ones with the great blurbs and the speech balloons. That's my jam, so to speak. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed my look at these House of Mystery Dial H for Hero comic books. Cheers for tuning in, and have a great amazing day, and until next time, may all your news be good news. Have a great amazing day. I'll have a great amazing day. Have a great amazing day. I hope you have a great amazing day.